What's up,
What
guys?
is up,
James.
Ham Radio? Keeping back Zulu November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by. Your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Sunday. That means it's time for Shenanigans. Good to see everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
You know, one thing before we even thank anybody, I'm going to say that my intro does not sound as good on my phone. Like, I really wish I could have heard it on the computer because it sounds so much better. But with that said, Dan's going to put this here Patreon list up, and we're going to thank these guys because they're absolutely awesome. And, you know, if it wasn't for them, a lot of the shenanigans would never happen. So I appreciate each and every one of you. We also will thank the Adventure Club. I do not have an updated board because I'm out of town, and this is the last board before Wednesday's stream. So we're gonna thank these. I don't know if there's any changes or not. I know the Hand of the King is still going to be on top because Terry tried to make a move and it got shut down quick on that last stream for sure. So thank you, each and every one of you, and we'll have an updated board on Wednesday for sure.
No, Terry. No.
Yeah, Dan. No. He said, "Listen, Linda, listen."
Oh man.
So speaking of Terry, Terry, I think he said he was out smoking grass or something, or I mean cutting grass, but he almost got knocked out of the PZN challenge over grass today because well, you know, it's 6 o'clock. I definitely ain't going to get another one in today. And my one activation, I had 4 to 5 in, and I'm like, where is this Golf Quebec guy? You know, he was really close to the limit of getting pushed out. I was sending him smoke signals and everything. Like, Terry, where are you? And then he comes through and he's like, well, you were weak. I had to run 800. He said, I had to run 800 watts to get you because you were weak. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Wait, you're supposed to run
I heard you just fine.
Yeah.
I heard you just fine, but that 800 watts helps on that receive to hear me, I guess.
No,
Love you, Terry.
He should have ran QRP so he didn't shoot a signal over the top of you.
I bet Dan can hear really good with his 1500 watts.
Right.
He's got that 1500 watt receive.
Yeah, the
Next
more power
Fest,
you
Dan,
transfer, the better you can hear.
You know, when we get down to Florida, make sure that we're going up to some of the dealers and saying we need us a 1500 watt receive amp.
50 dB preamp. Oh my God!
Could you imagine the noise that would bring?
No,
that would bring that would bring.
You'd be able to hear people.
Anyway,
man.
was I able to hear PP Man?
No, the 50 dB preamp on your receiver.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But that 1500 watt receive amp, yeah, you could even hear PP Man. Oh, yeah, had a nice activation out in the Little Beaver this morning, and that's the only one I'm gonna get in today, I guess.
Oh, the park.
Yeah. The Little Beaver, the park. Later on, I was in Beaver.
I got
that was not the park. It was the city. I was in the city later on.
Oh, so when you were in Beaver, that's when you were doing the inflatable things that you were talking about.
No, I was outside Beaver. You know, you can't be in Beaver with an inflatable because it's not really qualified to be the same. So I was outside of Beaver doing some inflatables.
I got you. Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah. You got come here wanting it, so don't complain. Don't send me the nasty email. All email complaints are now forwarded to Whiskey Delta 4 Delta out in November.
Oh, jeez.
So how's the hunting been, Dan?
It's been good the last couple of days. The bands today were kind of crappier, but I'm just glad to be back on the air. To be honest, it's been a rough couple of days here last week with a hurricane that came through and smashed us. But,
Yeah, I mean, I heard you got a pretty big blow job last week and
yeah,
got your antenna knocked down from it and everything.
Yeah. The I posted a video on my YouTube, a recap about it. I'll put the link here in the chat in a minute once I dig it up. But no, it got pretty bad here. The highest gust we got was 80, 81 miles an hour, and down my inverted V, the big limb that it was on. A lot of trees down. We didn't have power for a day and a half, 2 days. And I'm not bitching about that at all. Our linemen out there are working their asses off still right now, trying to get power to everybody. And there's still, last time I looked, there was still 26,000 power meters not checking in. So they still got a lot of work to do. But there's trees down everywhere over power lines. Right after the storm, I was cutting an oak tree out of our road so people could drive down it. It's been a mess for sure.
All right, Kilo Oscar 4, Fox Sierra Zulu. Hey, thank you very much for the super sticker. I appreciate it very much, and I hope you had a great show in Shelby. I would have loved to have been in Shelby, but my mom's in town from Florida, and one thing I can't tell people enough, and I'm going to put this in perspective for you, because most people, when I say your parents won't be around forever, everybody knows that I have issues messing with my dad all the time. But I'm going to put this in perspective for you. If you think you see your parents all the time, okay? So you see your parents once a month, all right? Let's say your parents live 5 more years. You see them once a month, that's 12 times a year. For 50 times, really enough times for the rest of your life to see your parents?
Right.
So, just to put that in perspective for people. Because that they life ain't guaranteed. Life ain't guaranteed for you. So, and that's why I live my life the way I live my life. And Dan, you're gonna have to read that stuff to me because we all know I can't read that on the phone.
It says, Kyle, Mom says, 36 hours without power is nothing. 5 years ago, he spent a week in July without power. And you're absolutely right. We didn't have it that bad off at all. We had no power. The worst thing, honestly, was grabbing water out of the pool to flush my toilet. That's really it. So I'm not complaining. I had a generator to keep the refrigerators and the freezers cold. We didn't lose food. There were a lot of people had it way worse off than I did. So still thinking about those people because some of them still don't have power. It's ridiculous. So.
Yeah, being without power, it sucks. But there's a lot worse things. First off, you guys should all have batteries at your house because you're POTA people, and you might be stuck at the house without power, but you can get on your radio and still play if you got a battery. Yeah. So I've set up before 4 o'clock in the morning, power goes off at my house, and I wake up because it's getting hot. Then I'm bored. I can't go back to sleep. I'm bored. So I'll go in, I'll play on the radio and see what I hear on there.
I took it as a break, to be honest with you. I got plenty of batteries. I could have, ran 100 watts and my DX Commander threw another wire up, no problem. But I hunted you once per day, and that's about all I did. I took it as a little break from POTA, just to relax and chill out. Now we're back in the swing of things. So. Terry,
thank you very much. I'll say thank you very much for the super chat or super sticker. Terry likes to send them stickers. I think that's what happens when you're smoking grass all day. Cutting grass all day, and you get out in that heat and you want to send stickers instead of regular chats. So
he said that should get him above me.
Listen, actually, I earned that $10 from Terry because I tell you what, I had to be back at the lake by a certain time because there's an aquatic center here, and we had it booked for the 2 o'clock hour. You only get that they fill up at the aquatic center because it's some fun stuff to do, but you only get 45 minutes there, and our slot was 2 o'clock, and I was like 40 minutes away. So my activation is pretty much almost over, and I'm sitting there thinking, "Where's Terry? Where's Terry?" And I'm texting him, nothing. I have Sherry start messaging him, and then finally he comes in. Kilo 8 Golf Quebec. I said, "You're 5'9", Terry." Nothing. Kilo 8 Golf Quebec. You're 5'9", Terry. Nothing. So I go on. Took another couple people, and then he came back in. He's like, "Oh, you're 5'8", and I was like, "Cool."
That's great. Kyle wants to know what color were your arm floaties?
My arm floaties, they were black and yellow. And when I would jump off of stuff into the water, they would not help me fly. I tried, but it would not help me fly at all.
That's funny.
So anyway.
Yeah, man. So yeah, we're getting back into the swing of things and getting things done, and still got some limbs to pick up and get the chainsaw out a couple more times. And I had to put my inverted V 10 feet higher than what it was. So if anybody is near me on 40 meters, I apologize for your speaker. But I didn't think 10 more feet would make that much of a difference, to be honest with you. But I can hear things that I normally don't hear on my inverted V right now. I don't know if it's the bands just happen to be good right now, but 10 more feet, I like it. It's doing better. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you very much, Mr. Charlie Golf. Charlie.
Hello, darling.
Chris got a little beaver this morning.
Hey, now, well, I didn't hear about this.
That's what park I was in. We're thinking. Don't act like you didn't hear about it. I spot that little beaver, and the first call I hear is Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November.
Right.
Dan did not want sloppy seconds at the little beaver. He said, "I'm the first user."
No. I put a lot of DB in a little beaver this morning, and got a contact out of it. So.
And it's quite funny because I made it a point because a lot of times here right lately when I've been going to Little Beaver, I've been there's a little trail out at the end of the main parking lot, and I walk out that trail just not too far, and there's a little clearing, and I'll throw up a infed and I'll activate out there just to be away from everything because it gets kind of hectic in that park at times. But not too long ago, some guy's like, "I drove through the park looking for you. I couldn't find you." So I made it a point. He lives like 2 or 3 miles on the road, and I made it a point to stick in the main parking lot, hoping he'd show up today so I could meet another hand, but he didn't show up.
So you're saying Little Beaver is a big place?
Little Beaver is pretty big, buddy.
I got you. Maybe they should rename it to the Not So Little Beaver.
Yeah, when people say they're headed to the Little Beaver, they're probably lying to you.
Yeah, and a lot of people use it. So it's a park that's well traveled, or
yeah, it's definitely well traveled. And if you don't watch, you can fall in and get wet there.
Yeah. So Little Beaver has a stream or a river or something?
Oh, it's more of a I don't know. I don't think you would call it a lake, but it's not a stream or a river. maybe a gigantic pond.
A gushing pond or something like that. Yeah, like a pond.
Yeah. There is a dam. So
Damn.
I don't know. It might be. It could be a small lake. I don't know. It's not a big lake. I'm on a big lake right now, but unfortunately, the big lake that I'm on is not a photo park. So
maybe you should email your mapping representative.
I should. I should email him and say, "How about you put the parks that have already been put in the system back in, and we'll call it even."
Oh my God.
I did get some West Virginia to West Virginia. Besides Terry, we won't count him because he had to use his receive van. But I got Whiskey Victor 8 Tango from Somerville as well. So I got a little bit of West Virginia. West Virginia didn't do. They wasn't number 6 in the hunter stats for this past month. I've already got the stats done, but you guys are dying to see the video. But guess what? That don't come out till next week. So
we got to wait 30 days for it.
Stats. I know the stats, and there's a few surprises in there. And it ain't in my numbers.
Speaking of stats, where in the heck is the quarterly update for POTA?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's somewhere.
I think they're going on the millennial quarter now.
The millennial quarter. Every quarter of a millennial.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Like every 25 years, we'll get it.
Granted,
25.
Yeah, I mean, granted to them, they did say quarterly updates. They didn't say a quarter of what, so they never did qualify that. You're right.
Yeah, I think I went wrong because when I moved myself to quarterly updates, all that meant was I started giving stats for the quarter each month. So in January you got January stats. In February you got January and February, and in March you got. But when they went to quarterly, they just disappeared.
Yeah. What?
I don't know. Maybe POTA needs another media person or something. I don't know. I know Vance is extremely missed because Vance did a good job at it.
He did.
Vance always kept me guessing too.
Yeah, Kyle. They announced a while. When I say a while ago, I mean, they just had the plaque event, but they announced that shortly after the plaque event that they're not going to have another one. So I hope they change their minds. Really, I really do, because I don't want to. As I was telling a couple of people on the inside of POTA, that deal on that committee and things like that. I don't want to be known as one of the last dudes who got a plaque. I want other people to get them next year, because I'm not gonna. If they have it next year, I'm not gonna really compete. I want somebody else to be able to get them. So I don't want to be the last one. I hope they change their minds. Yeah, who knows? Maybe. Apparently, it's I don't know why they decided. I guess too much work on the back end to figure out the results without Vance. I mean, I know he did most of it, if not all of it, while he was there, and so it's a big set of shoes to fill, losing Vance. But hey, we'll see what happens.
I mean, I don't know. They said they didn't have enough people to do it. I mean, I was thinking their software separated things.
Yeah, I mean, you're not like counting manual ballot boxes here. I mean, you know what I mean? It's not like people mail in their QSO counts.
Well, now there are FT8 people, and they do have mail-in ballots for FT8. But trust me, I know. I watched somebody's numbers change 8,000 times. 8,000 times for mail-in ballots one time.
Yep.
Oh God, I better hush. I'll get a hater on the air tonight, won't I?
Can you see
Guess
him?
what? I ain't activating. I go activate tonight. You can't hate me, haha.
Can you imagine looking at all the FT8 mail-in ballots like they did in Florida last decade or so when they had the whole election thing, and they're holding up their mail-in ballots and they're going, no, that looks like an FT8 contact. Yeah, that's FT8 for sure.
Let's make ham radio SSB again. That's going to be my new slogan.
Be a good.
Let's make ham radio SSB again.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Kyle. I mean, they could do that once they get the query set up. A lot of the problem they had this year, from what I heard, was filtering out clubs and other shenanigans that people were trying. Like, I don't want to get into it, but mainly the club stuff. Yeah. But hey, I mean, they got it straight in the long run, and now they know. Yeah. So.
Isn't it bad when you just want to say, this is what happened, and this is what shouldn't have happened, but you just can't do that? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, they got it right now, so they know what needs to be done. I just think we as POTA kind of went into it a bit unprepared after losing Vance. But now that they got it right, they know exactly what needs to be done. If they had one next year, it should run 100 times smoother because we've already got the experience, right? So you would think.
Hey,
you would think.
You never know if something better might come along.
Yeah, the PZN flag event.
Well, I'm just saying, you never know what could happen.
That's right.
There could be a cool contest in the future, and of course, it would be only a POTA event contest, but it wouldn't be official POTA.
My next challenge. All right, so I've worked you sideband, obviously. I've worked you CW, obviously. I've worked you digital, obviously. My next challenge is to work you sideband and CW in the same contact, kind of alternating. So I'm going to call like Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November. I'm going to say Whiskey. I'm going to send Delta and CW. I'm going to say 4. Then I'm going to send Delta and CW. I'm going to say Alpha, and then I'm going to send November and CW and see if you get it.
Here's the thing: when you come in CW, the only reason sometimes you have to come back is if somebody's been tuning up on me, and I have my filter turned on. When you come through in CW, it sounds like a bunch of. I know it's CW, but it's a bunch of noise. So before I'm say Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November, I'm going to make sure it's you. So I'll flip my filter off then. And then wait a call and see if you call back. Or I have even said, okay, CW caller, come now.
You're right, Eddie. He does have to get SSTV contact. I've never got him on slow scan. I'll send him a picture of a brisket. Think I won't.
I should probably go back and do some more of that. That was fun. That might be something to do in the near future.
How long does it take to get an SSTV contact? Like, how long does it take to send the image? I've never done SSTV, period.
It takes a little while. Like, if you were going to do, I wanted to do a video doing a SSTV only activation, but the problem is, when you do an activation video, you take like 30 minutes of footage and you tone it down to like 7 minutes. And you've got 7 minutes, you could put 40 contacts.
Yeah.
In SSTV, I mean, I guess you could just show it in fast forward mode.
Yeah.
But 10 contacts, you're probably close to an hour.
Put that little dude up there. 4 hours later.
It take well, especially if I just call CQ, I call CQ. I can't remember the timing on it because it's been a while since I did it. I'm gonna say it's probably a minute and a half, 2 minutes for me to send that CQ out. I could be wrong because it's been a while.
Kyle said he could draw something in crayon and mail it by USPS and it would be there faster than slow scan TV.
But then you get a picture back answering you. So then you send them a signal report back. And then I'm content with that because when you send your picture to me, you'll send my signal report back from my CQ. And when I send my signal report, I'm good with that. But a lot of people will then send you a 73, and it can be time consuming.
So how exactly? Maybe you should do a video of how to work the SSTV pilot.
I can do that. Because what I would do is I did it a lot last summer, when I'd be out like activating really late. So my last activation every night, I go on a rolling like every night for probably 4 or 5 weeks after I banged out like 300 or 400 sideband QSOs. I went over and started doing SSTV, and it was funny because I'd start it and then I just put my phone up and we had a SSTV chat in Discord, and we'd all just sit there and talk about it and stuff like that while we were doing it. But I would literally sit in the park an extra 2 hours sometimes, just goofing off to make like 10 contacts.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I think that's a good video, man. And you should really plug it to how to control your SSTV pilots next time on Ham Radio Adventure Guide.
Maybe next year, my goal will be to be the top digital activator, but I'm just going to use SSB. so to have more contacts than any FT8er with only SSTV.
Man, Kyle's on a roll tonight.
I know a guy who could help me with the logging on that. How I could make it happen.
Kyle's on a roll tonight. He said an SSTV pileup is like watching As Seen on TV at 3 a.m. on a Saturday night.
Well, I mean, a CW pileup at right as the late shift rolls over is kind of like if you're old enough to remember when the emergency broadcasting system would take over the TV at the end of the night, and you just it's kind of like that.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. What else you are? So we got slow scan TV, which is a fun mode. If you're just something to do that's different and fun. What else do we got? That's good for digital modes, just to have fun with. JT9 takes forever. Well, not like SSTV doesn't. But.
So here's the thing: I want to do some satellite work and make satellite contacts, but that would be impossible to do. Well, it wouldn't be impossible, but it would be frowned on a lot probably to do a whole POTA activation on a satellite because you're supposed to make your contact, and I do realize some people make 2 or 3 of them, and I guess that's pretty acceptable. But if I was to try to get 10 on one pass, I don't think anybody else would get in on a satellite. So
you would. You could piss somebody off. Yeah. You
could do like 1 or 2 contacts at this satellite pass and have it scheduled where within the next hour there was another satellite coming through. So you could SSTV in between satellites to make your other contacts, and then finish it off with the next pass. That would be pretty cool. I don't think it would be a cool video. People are like, this is like doing FT8. It's like watching paint dry.
Somebody just posted in Discord about something. Let me verify it on the calendar here. Let's see. Robbie says something about the Tennessee QSO party, which I don't see. I see the Colorado Colorado QSO party. Asian DX contest is going on right now. I don't see Tennessee QSO party, Robbie. Help me out. Oh, there it is. Tennessee QSO party. I see it. Yep. Oh, it's short. 1800 Zulu until 0300 Zulu. It's just a couple hours. So if you need a Tennessee county, get it now.
Oh, it's on now?
Yeah, it stops at 0300. Hopefully there's a lot of parks in Tennessee. Maybe a lot of people are out there. Hopefully they get on 40 meters if they are. I'll never hear them if not.
Tennessee would be a big state to work golf, Tennessee.
Yeah, I think so.
Because if you think about it, if you go from like Knoxville to Memphis, that's like a 10-hour drive, I bet you. Or pretty close to it. So, and I know some people that's working on it. But I was just thinking that's a big state to do work on.
Yeah, it would be.
I kind of got to think what I'm going to go to after Kentucky, because
there's 253 parks in Tennessee.
Well, it's not the number; it's the how spread out you got to be. Because like I complain because it's like 6.5 hours to Paducah area in Kentucky, but imagine doing Tennessee. That's a really stretched out state.
Yeah, Kyle said Memphis to Knoxville is 6 hours. So.
Oh, is that all it is?
That's a lot of drive. I mean, it's not far. I mean, 6 hours is definitely doable, but it's 6.5 hours from here to Huntsville. And it's just to the point for me where, I want to get out and walk around and do something else for a little bit and then hop back in the truck. About 6 hours is my limit. I got to get up and do. I got to walk around, stretch, do something.
I'm probably getting 10 hours from because I was coming from North Carolina when I went to Memphis. Yeah. And when I was driving back from Memphis, I wasn't driving back. When I was riding back from Memphis, I had like 3 bruised ribs and all kinds of stuff wrong with me. So it probably felt like it took 100 hours. So.
Yeah. James Jenner said that's not bad. Come to Texas, James. I've been there, dude. I've driven over to see my folks, and Texas is wide, very wide and girthy. You got a big state over there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to be after Kentucky. I haven't thought about it. I mean, people say that an obvious choice would be Ohio, but not really, considering all the times I would have to have access to a boat. And we're talking where I'm going to have access from a boat. All of those is like 5 and 6 hours from my house.
I think you should do
Georgia. Because there is a good bit. Do Georgia. You would like that, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. You'd be bored when you get south of about halfway, about Macon area. When you get south, there's a long way of driving between parks. You're not doing a 10-part road south of Macon, and you're not going to do that in one day as long as you stay in the state.
Now, don't Georgia have a lot of islands too?
Yeah, I mean not a lot, but 4 or 5 park islands, I think.
See, I kind of want somewhere where I don't gotta have special equipment. because
Yeah.
not that I mind. I love doing stuff like that. But when I'm traveling, because I've done all West Virginia, I have to travel to another state, and bringing special equipment like that is a pain in the butt. Like when I'm even Kentucky, I've got to have my kayak, and it's going to be a 4-hour drive. So I've got to. However, I'm getting there that day is I've got to take a kayak with me,
How far do you have to kayak?
and it just becomes a pain in the butt. So, I mean, not super far. I can probably see the island from the shore.
It'd be a good video.
So
Get on a dry suit, get you a big old Ziploc bag, put your radio in it, put your floaties on, and backstroke your butt over to the island. Say, this is how you POTA, boys.
and hook strings to all of my toes with chicken livers and hooks on all of them. And then when I get over to the island, while I'm boating, cook the fish that I caught, right?
But put on one of those big old survival suits and say, welcome to Bouvet Island, Kentucky.
Welcome to Bear Grylls on the air.
Oh my goodness. David and Annabelle are still out. They are roving today down the Dominican Republic. Everybody go work them. They're tearing it up today.
Them two are a machine.
She got her kilo the other day or somewhere.
I know. Speaking of kilos, I don't know if I'm going to put the stat video out next Thursday or if I'm going to put out my special kilo video out, because I just got my 20th kilo in Chief Logan. Not meaning I have 20 parts with kilos. I mean, I have 20,000 contacts in Chief Logan.
That's very nice. Terry said you're going to do your kayak at Wallback.
Going to do my what?
You could do your kayak at Wallback.
I am. Terry is absolutely correct. I'm going to do my kayak activation at Wallback. He is correct. Terry's letting secrets out of the bag. Terry, my lawyers will be in touch with you now. You're going to be Terry is now getting sued for punitive damage that he done to the video. like the whole opening line of my video is just ruined. I'm like, "What's up, ham radio? Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zulu November, the ham radio adventure guy. Thanks for stopping by. Your one stop for everything adventure radio. Today we're at the park that Terry done told you about, and we're going to do a kayak activation." Good job, Terry. My lawyer's already drawing up papers, buddy. You're had it. You had it.
You had one job. Yeah, man. A float. Activation.
I'm going to do my kayak. It's I need to get that done actually, because I don't want to do a kayak activation in December in West Virginia for sure. So I'm going to say probably this month. That's on taps for that, and of course I got to do 4 summits this month, and I got to hit at least. I got to knock out at least half of what's left of Kentucky this month. So all this while still trying to get a car running.
Yeah.
Next on No Way TV.
To plug one more time, if you haven't seen the video from Kilo Oscar 4 Fox Sierra Zulu antennas. Chris, that the review James did. Go check him out. The code is still good on his website. I think it's A-Track Happy Hour. Chris,
that code.
Drop it in the chat. And good antennas, man. Awesome. I ordered one. Hope to see it. We're gonna play.
That code is good until 9/11. So if you want to save a little bit on the antenna, that antenna did a really good job every time I've used it, and I was really happy with it. So it'll be used.
It's built very well. Let me tell you firsthand experience, because I threw it up in the tree at Montesano, and I got it, and I got my line stuck, so I had to drag it the opposite way over the branch to get it down. So I had to drag the transformer box up and over the branch in order to get it down, and I had to snatch it, 4 or 5 times pretty hard, and it held up like a champ. I mean, it's very well built. So.
See, and then didn't even tell me all this till now.
Oh no, because I didn't want to say it's not working because you had to snatch it. I just want to see what happened. And no problems with it whatsoever. Yeah, A-Track Happy Hour.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be all capital letters. That's what he posted. He didn't say it, but he posted it in capital letters. So unless he's just typing because he is a logger, not a keyboard talker. Why are you yelling at me? Because I log POTA, and that's how you do it.
Yeah, I was very pleased with that 4310. I ordered me one, so it's we gave it a good workout in Huntsville. Like I said, if you haven't seen the video on James's channel, click videos, look at it. Great review. So.
And if you haven't seen it, it might be because you didn't turn on notifications. And if you did turn on notifications, you'd have been pleasantly surprised when that thing came out at like 3:30 in the morning the other night.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you were up at what, 6 or 7 the next morning out in the park. Well, the same morning.
I was up till 4:30 that night. I got up at 6 the next morning to leave and go to the park. So nobody can say I don't do work. But right. But I'll tell you what, the first comment on the video was Kent, Kilo 9 Alpha Echo Echo, and he's like, "Who is up at this time?"
There's certain people, no matter when you spot on POTA, they're gonna be there, and Kent's one of them. It doesn't matter. You can spot at 2 in the morning, Kilo 9 Alpha Echo Echo. 11 in the afternoon, 11 in the morning, Kilo 9 Alpha Echo Echo. 3:30 in the afternoon, Kilo 9 Alpha Echo Echo. Like, do you sleep?
And that's why I love my POTA people. You know what? My crew is the most awesome crew because I don't never worry about, well, I can't sleep. What am I going to do? Well, shit, it don't matter if it's 3:30 in the morning. I'll go activate. My ham alerts will wake up 10 people easily,
Yeah.
So, but it sure won't wake Terry up from smoking grass. I mean, cutting grass.
He'll be like, I didn't hear it over the sound of the lawnmower. I got to ask Terry this, what kind of mower he has. But all right, guys, I've met Terry. So let me tell you, if I didn't know, so I don't know what kind of lawnmower Terry has. I do know his taste in music, but that's beside the point. The lawnmower. Terry strikes me as a type of person, just looking at him and having met him, that has one of those old manual reel mowers. The ones you push and the reel spins and it cuts the grass nice and shaves the grass. That's what he strikes me as. Oh, he has a Honda. Never mind.
Terry would strike me as the kind of person that would have a giant goat big enough to ride, and he would sit on the saddle of it and sit there and spank it to go around the yard and cut it.
That's right. That's right.
That's kind of the feeling I get from Terry. And then if it's cutting in a straight line, he'll kick it really hard because we all know Terry don't drive on the road. He has to hit all the parking lots around.
How many parking lots did y'all hit on the way to Huntsville from Nashville? Pretty much a straight line. I was curious here.
Every parking lot that was right off of a roundabout, I can tell you that.
That's great.
I tell you what, Terry, if you was up here with my family this weekend, you would see that you're a loved person, because this is how all the members of my family are. We get on each other and we just talk shit to each other.
Yeah, Terry,
But
you going
anyway,
down to Orlando in February? We got about 15 minutes. Hopefully, you're going to Orlando in February, Terry. It'll be good to see you again down there. I'm gonna try to make Dayton. Dayton's a tough one for me. It's that time of year and the distance it is. It's a weird placement for me.
See, Dayton's the easiest show for me.
Yeah,
like it's nothing for me to get to Dayton, but
yeah. I mean, yeah, you could go to Dayton and still go home and sleep if you wanted to. Really,
I could literally, if I wanted to, I could drive to Dayton Friday morning, hit the show, leave after the show, drive home, come back Saturday morning, hit the show again, and drive back. I definitely wouldn't want to do that. But I wouldn't want to drive that. It's about 3.5 hours, but the thing is, okay. I wouldn't want to do it unless it was for a photo road. I don't like to drive unless it's for a photo road.
Yeah.
And anybody who's ever said, "Hey, you want to go POTA? I'll drive," always knows I'm like, sure.
Yeah, wherever you want.
I drive plenty. So, and then they're like, "Man, you fuss about my driving the way I drive." I'm like, "You want to drive?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." I would rather fear for my life than have.
You didn't. My fault that we had to do all the U-turns. Okay, I was just following the lead.
I wasn't having to worry about your driving in Orlando, because, like, you couldn't get up to a speed that would scare me because we was too busy going in circles. Terry would have really panicked if he was on that road, because everything is a roundabout wheel.
Yeah.
Funny stuff.
He said, "Yeah." Now Terry did give you props. He said you are a great navigator.
Well, I don't know about all that, but
yeah, good to be back in the saddle, man. After the last week, and Idalia that came and slammed the hell out of us. That was not fun. Hurricane season's not over yet, boys. We might get some more.
Well, people in the South, you guys are always ready for that. It's coming every year, so.
Yeah. And hey, if the limb breaks, my inverted B's on now, I'll just put it up 10 more feet. I don't care.
See, me, the South is just too hot. I like going there in the winter. I love my February down there. And, even though somebody's trying to push for me to come a different time of the year, and I'm not going to mention that on air because I don't know if it's going to happen yet, and I don't want somebody to know if it does, but I'll still be there in February for my month in February, because I love my February month. And well, I can guarantee you 1 kilo in Florida in this February. I'm 5 contacts away from a kilo. I couldn't believe it. I got back on the train heading back last year, and I started looking at stuff, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? I need 5 more contacts for a kilo there."
That's like me. That's like me leaving veterans. I needed 1 more hunt or a park to park from inside the same park for an eagle. I'm sitting at 99 for like 2 weeks. Come on, you got to be kidding me. But no, February in Florida is nice. I don't want to do Florida in August, September, July area because it's hot as Hades. But February is beautiful in Florida.
No.
So, really like it down there. It's
No,
a good time to have that ham fist.
Yep. I'll tell you what, they just opened the door, and I'll tell you what, I'm glad the stream is almost over because I'm about to dig into some brisket. And
I want some.
I was told that it's going to beat Eddie's brisket. That's what I was told.
No.
So
What?
You've
No
been
way.
challenged. Yeah, that's what I was told. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. We'll never know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't see it happening myself because I happen to have had it. I've had Eddie's brisket, and Eddie's brisket's pretty freaking amazing.
There wasn't anything
But
left.
anyway, we're going to start wrapping up here because I know either Charlie or Frank has a video coming out here in a few minutes. I don't know which one, but I'm going to be eating brisket, so I'll have to watch it on replay regardless. So, what you got coming up this week, Dan? I know you got an extra day off, don't you, tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow. Kyle said Red does. So, not a lot, man. Day off on Monday. Yard work. I got to mow grass, get the bigger limbs cut up, and still clean up.
Speaking of smoking your grass, mowing your grass.
Oh yeah.
How does your lawnmower have a PZN alarm on it, or how does that work?
Every time you spot, the damn thing stalls out, so I know.
Oh,
that you're on the air. Yeah.
See, because I've been trying to think of different ways to do things. Like we was talking about that Kilo Oscar 4 antenna, and I need a security system on that because people like to steal my coax when I'm using that antenna.
What I did is I took an old Raspberry Pi and I got it wireless, and I have wireless in my backyard. I have an outdoor AP. I took a little Raspberry Pi and I hooked it into the spots page. And when you spot, it'll go to the Pi board. It'll send signal down a GPIO pin to my carburetor, and it'll stall the engine out. So I know you spotted. Tell me that's not the best lie you ever heard in your life.
You guys think he's lying, and he wants you to think he's lying, but I'm going to tell you, he's drank too much Kool-Aid. When so like when most people spot on POTA, it's like they're the three little pigs, and there's a big bad wolf outside trying to get in. But when I spot on POTA, there's three little pigs in the house, and the big bad wolf is out there, but guess who's standing behind him? The Kool-Aid man, and we all know what's getting ready to happen.
Bust right. Bust through.
Oh, yeah. All right. See, we are going to wrap it up because, that brisket smells good and I'm hungry. And I hate streaming from my phone anyway. Anyway, thank you guys very much for the super tonight. And for hanging out with me and Dan and listening to us carry on for an hour about anything and nothing, mostly nothing. But we'll be back on topic Wednesday night on the stream, and Thursday I'll do a video drop. And other than that, I'll be in a park every day. I know Chief Logan's going to be hit every day from Monday on because that's where Mom's going to be camping at for the week. So, but I've got to get back to my 4 and 5 parks a day streak because my numbers slowed down too much, and I don't like it. Still on top, but I don't like nobody near the top. So, all right, guys, thank you very much. Everybody, go head over to Red Stream, and we'll catch you guys on the air or Wednesday night. 73.
73, guys.